Regulators! Mount up!
Hey everybody, Lewis here, Rshackbbq and other things. So, this week, if you're like me, I watch a lot of cooking shows and grilling shows and even find magazines that inspire me. And I found this one. It's from Better Homes and Garden, Grilling Recipes, 100 Best. And I was looking on here, and it says it's patio time. Let me zoom in on this right there. It says the only rib recipe you will ever need. Really? Could that be true? Or is this fake news in today's society where we have fake news? So anyway, for this cook, I'm gonna follow their rib recipe to the T. Well, almost to the T. But I'm gonna make their sauce, I'm gonna make their seasoning, I'm gonna do all that, I'm gonna cook them. The one thing on here it says that's got me kind of curious is, and I'm gonna read it. Now I'm gonna do this on a Rectech, but it says prepare the grill to medium high heat using a drip pan and wood chips, but I'm not gonna do that. Place ribs bone side down over drip pan, grill covered over indirect medium heat 1.5 to 1 3/4 hours or until ribs are tender. Brushing with some of the sauce during the last 30 minutes. Serve ribs 1.5 to 1 3/4 over medium heat. Perfect ribs. Can it be done? I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the Rectech to 300, and I'm going to put those ribs on, and I'm not going to touch them. I'm going to close the lid. I'm not going to touch them for 1.5 hours. Then we'll come out and take a look at them and see how tender they are, see if they need to go. Normally I cook around 250, 225 to 250, and you're talking 5 hours, 6 hour cook. Let's see if that 50 to 75 degree difference changes the time, the quality, and everything else. Stay tuned. Okay, for this recipe it calls out for 1 tablespoon of packed brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of paprika. I'm going to use smoked paprika because I can. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of celery salt, 1/2 teaspoon of dried mustard or ground mustard, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1/4 teaspoon, if you dare, of cayenne pepper. So I'm going to get these all in here and we'll get them mixed up. So we'll let this sit here and those flavors meld into the meat, and then we'll get it out of there on the grill. Rec Tech is up to 300. It's 2:30 in the afternoon. Let's get these rack of ribs on here and let them go for an hour and a half. We won't look at them again until 4 o'clock. There's our ribs. Get them on here. Side down, close them up, let them ride. All right, while that's going on, let me show you what I'm doing. Digging a trench out here. Got a power line I'm running from the shop out here to the testing facility, the Rshackbbq testing facility, so I can put outlets out in here. Shh, don't tell anyone I'm not a licensed electrician, but good enough to be dangerous. Now for the sauce, it says a tablespoon of butter, which I have down in there. And we're gonna let that melt on medium heat here. Butter's melting down. Then it says to add 2 minced garlic cloves. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use already minced up garlic, and I'm going to put in, I like garlic, so a heaping teaspoon. We'll put that in there. And it says just stir and get that till it's fragrant for about a minute or two. Then we're going to add our other ingredients. 1/4 cup cider vinegar and a 1/4 cup of water. Here's my water. Pour that in there. And a 1/4 cup of cider vinegar. So then we want 2 tablespoons of brown sugar and a tablespoon of yellow mustard, tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Okay, so it says 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1, 2, tablespoon of chili powder. Oh, that scares me. About a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, tablespoon of yellow mustard, and a 1/4 cup of molasses. 1/4 cup. Something right about there. Okay, then a cup of ketchup. Ketchup, however you say it. That's a lot of ketchup. Something like that. Put that all down in there. The last ingredient is a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And now what we want to do is crank up the heat, let this come to a boil, and then simmer it for 20-25 minutes. Take a whisk. Okay, you can see it's starting to boil. So now we're just going to turn it down on low. We're going to let this simmer. We'll keep stirring it every now and then, but we'll let this simmer until we get to a thickness that we want. Okay, let's check in and see how our sauce is doing. It's starting to thicken up. The timer says we have 4 minutes left, but it's looking really good. I set the timer for 22 minutes just to get it up there, but it's starting to thicken up a little bit. Yeah, that's some good looking sauce. Okay, so I went in and got cleaned up, finished up running wire. Let me show you what I did. All right, so got the wire all ran. So there's the excess wire. It's not hooked up to any outlets yet, but I filled my trench back in and come around here. The breaker box for the shop is just on the other side of that. Yeah, I just went through there and ran it down and dug a trench and across. Now I got to figure out where I'm going to put all these outlets and everything. So right now, as you can see on this side, I just have an extension cord running over here, coming down in, and it feeds power to all the lights, and soda machine over there. So I want to get true outlets on a breaker. I'm going to run it from the shop out here. Anyhow, let's check these ribs. All right. Well, they don't look done to me, but toothpick. Let's just see. Yeah, there's a little tenderness to them. A little stickiness. Not much bone pullback, and they look a little dry. So, all right. We're gonna let them just ride, but I am gonna spritz them. This is just water. Okay, we'll give them another half hour. See what they look like then. Okay, it's been another hour. It's 5 o'clock now. Let's see if these ribs are done. I just let them ride. See how well this goes in. Still, well, it might be just the skin. That toothpick is going in. It's going in pretty good. So I'm actually going to start saucing them here. Something like that. Beautiful. Okay, it's been a half hour more. I've sauced them a couple of times. Let's take them off of there and kind of wrap them up. Let them rest for about 10 minutes. Add a little bend to them. Tint them with foil for right now. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at these ribs. There they are. They look really good. Turned out nicely. The color's beautiful. Not a whole lot of bone pull back, but there's some. Do you think they're done? Certainly look like it. Let's take a look at this. Oh my. I say they're done. Wow. Let's taste that. Okay, once again, I got this recipe from Better Homes and Gardens Grilling Recipes. And this was the only rib recipe you will ever need. And we followed it pretty much to a T. Just a couple little things I changed. But here you can see what it looked like. And it looks very much like that. The real question is, what do they taste like? Let's find out. Okay, let's take a bite of this recipe we got from Better Homes and Garden. That looks really good. Has a lot of flavor. That barbecue sauce is really good. Really sweet, but then it's got a kick of heat behind it. They might be onto something there, because that's really good. That is some good barbecue sauce. The ribs came out perfect, just the way I like them. Not fall off the bone. The bone is still connected, but yet you're getting a good bite on them. Those are perfect. Now, is it the best? It's darn good. It's really, really good. And what did I change? I probably let it go. They said an hour and a half to an hour and 3/4. I actually ran it 3 hours at 300 and didn't wrap them, just sauced them the last half hour, and they are beautiful and they taste really, really good. I did them on a pellet grill. They were talking about doing it like on a offset or a charcoal grill because they wanted indirect heat, but pretty much the same thing. You just have, the controls that keep it right at the temp. Definitely worth a try. You see that I have a picture of the recipe, the rub that we made, and then of the sauce. I recommend trying that sauce because it's really, really good. And just give them a try. They are good ribs. I kind of like the way I do my own ribs, but this is definitely right up there. Definitely flavorful. As I always say, thank you for watching. You can do this too. It's not that hard. Till next time, grill on, my friends. We're gonna go eat.